Hey, we're Damn the Wolves. I'm Jody.
I'm Brett.
And I'm Rick.
And you're listening to Now That's What I Call Damn Good Music,
The podcast.
Today we're talking about the second studio album by British band Coldplay, recorded between September 2001 and July 2002 and released on the 26th of August 2002. That's quite close to the release date, isn't it?
That's interesting because I saw them in 2002 and they were playing songs from this record.
So, produced by Ken Nelson and Coldplay. Ken had produced the debut album Parachutes as well, and I believe he produced the follow-up X and Y. But other than that, his resume includes Gomez and Badly Drawn Boy.
Oh, Gomez. I love a bit of Gomez.
So how many copies do you think this has sold then, gents?
4 million.
8 million.
Wow. It's sold over 17 million.
Wow.
Yeah. It's received 3 Grammy Awards.
Okay.
And it was number 324 on Rolling Stone's greatest albums of all time.
Wow.
Didn't it get moved when they redid the list?
Did it? Where did it get moved to?
I don't know. That's all I know about it. I don't know where it went from. It got moved up when they redid it recently, in the past 5 years.
Oh, okay. But quite surprising to me, this is generally regarded among critics and, among the music press as one of the best albums of the 21st century.
Blimey.
Why does that surprise you, Joe?
Well, I'm not the biggest of Coldplay fans.
It's going to be
I'm a casual fan. That's what I call myself. I'm a casual Coldplay fan. So let's give it a bit of backstory, Brett. So let's say why we've chosen this one. This is of course a rush of blood to the head. I'm not sure if I said that at the start.
I think these podcasts we do, you two grew up obviously as brothers, didn't you? And I
yes,
you were then and you still are now.
brothers.
So you kind of shared the same musical taste, similar. So you're
not exactly the same by a long shot.
Late 80s, the 90s.
Don't tar me with the same brush.
Whereas we talked about this before, but I kind of went on a different tangent. So a lot of the podcasts that we do are kind of aimed towards maybe what you guys are inspired by a little bit more than me, although I embrace it. So I was quite adamant that I wanted to do something that inspired me around that kind of period.
Isn't the first podcast we ever did Alanis Morissette?
Yes.
I rest my case.
I rest my case, Your Honour.
But Jay was a big fan of that album. He won't admit it now. So I wanted to do something that I was inspired by more than you guys, and I think there's always going to be a little bit of.
But that's cool though, isn't it? Because we're going to get hopefully differing opinions and different ideas on what means something to each of us individually. Because
the early Coldplay stuff, the first 2 albums for sure, I was that kind of mid to early 2000s, mid 90s to early 2000s. The first 2 albums, it was a part of my life that they blew me away. I saw them a few times and I absolutely loved it. I mean, but I drifted away from the more recent stuff. I wouldn't call myself a fan of the more modern stuff.
Because this surmises quite well their sort of earlier style of it being more guitar and piano, rock indie band that kind of in the vein of Radiohead before they became more electronic.
I believe that the integrity of the pressure of the record label and the integrity of the songs diminished because of the power that the band had in selling out stadiums, and they still do. So you
think that was record company pressure?
I think that usually is, isn't it?
Do you think there's a little bit of the as they start getting bigger and bigger, they're trying to please a broader range of people rather than perhaps when they started
Possibly.
The debut album Parachutes and then this.
I just think the power of the brand outgrows the integrity of the songwriting.
Well, there's an interesting thing to talk about here before we dive into the album, which is that Coldplay aren't actually popular in music fans as such. They're massive.
Is it a trend? Is it cool not to like them?
Well, is it a bit like U2 and Ed Sheeran? And although, does Taylor Swift get tarred with that brush? I mean, she's massive at the moment. Is it uncool to like? I don't know. Is it because people get big? Is it because
it's probably cooler to like Taylor Swift?
I like Taylor Swift.
I like Taylor
Swift. She's bloody handsome.
Anyway, let's move on. Move away from that. Well, how do you deem yourself, Rick? Are you a Coldplay fan, or are you on the casual Coldplay list?
I'd be on the casual list, I think.
Yeah.
With you. I quite like this album. No real beef with their earlier stuff. And recently, as far as electronic pop songs go, I like some of them.
So interestingly, this is the only Coldplay album I own.
Okay.
It's the only one I have on CD.
I own the first 3, but this is probably my favourite.
Yeah, and I've probably only ever listened to it once or twice all the way through.
Really?
So
I'm probably a bit further towards the Brett area.
Yeah.
I don't know what area
I
that
do
is.
wonder whether my my thoughts on Coldplay is because, I listen to mainstream radio, not all the time, but so I hear the singles.
Right.
And then you kind of get fed up with the same song. So it it can put
I
you off.
don't listen to any radio, so maybe that's where.
I mean, I was listening to Radio 1 back in the day. Jo Wiley was a massive Coldplay fan. She kind of got them really a big foot in the door, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yellow, when it came out, was... And I fell in love with that song and then the album. And, it's kind of that period of my life where I look back and those songs were really, really big for me. And then the relationship I was in at the time where you have a relationship and you have songs that you mean something in that relationship. So I was with a girl. We went to see them at a V 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a good relationship?
It was. It had its moments. And then it didn't end
Probably
that well.
can't talk about those.
No, okay, anyway, sorry. I was just trying to see how that impacts on your...
I think that period of time, that the David Gray, the Coldplay, that kind of those songs that were out, we were listening to them, so they mean a lot, So we went to a V 2001 and Coldplay were there, so I saw them in a big stadium show, and then the following year they headlined Glastonbury before this album, or around the time that this album was released.
They did that every other year for a while, didn't they?
Was that like the 16th time they headlined Glastonbury? Or?
It was the second. But anyway, they the 2 days before they did a show in Truro just up the road from us, and it was an intimate warm-up show just ahead of headlining Glastonbury.
Yes,
and it was 2 minutes from my doorstep, and I went. So I'd seen them at a festival, and then I saw them at it was, I think, 1500, the old Arena Hall for Cornwall. It was a very intimate show where they did their headline set, and they played. They came on with Politic. They started with that song. I remember, and it's like, this album's due out. We're headlining Glastonbury, and they played, and it was the most. I would say it's up there with probably one of the best gigs that I'd ever been to.
That's cool.
So this is why this album, I think, means
special to you.
Special place.
Special place.
Do you know? I met the Radio 1 DJ Jo Wiley on the beach surfing.
Yeah, you told us.
Yep.
You still do.
What?
Tell us.
No, I'm telling everyone else. It's not just for you two, it's for the wider general public.
I remember you having a meeting her.
I wasn't surfing, I was just running along the beach shouting Joe at her. But
And then he was arrested.
yeah, then I was taken away again.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd share that, while we're talking about that story.
Nice.
She's nothing to do with this album, is she?
Shall we get stuck in? Because we've got 54 minutes and 8 seconds to get through of music.
Wow.
Oh, are we going to play along with the album?
Seemed like a slog when I first put the
we
disc
could
on.
do a react to.
Listen to him. He's having a moan about it already.
I think you're going to be surprised. Track 1, Politic.
So I'm going to start with this.
Go.
So I think as far as album openers go, I think this is up there with the top 5 of the best album openers.
Wow.
To me, I think
I thought you were going to say Top Gun, but...
Up there with Top Gun as one of the best film of the 80s.
I was going to try and play the opening. I was going to try and play the opening chords, but if I do that, I've got to push a button and it's going to play a random note. Okay,
Don't do it.
that one and that one. Okay,
Right, yeah.
is it still? All right. Okay, right. I've done it.
What are you doing?
That's
Nothing.
all right.
That's
You're
it.
being
Carry on.
silly.
Carry on.
I think the power behind how there's that kind of urge of
There's a real
instrumentation before the accents come in.
There's a real build of tension, isn't there, in that initial when the band comes in.
It's the tempo of those accents and how the music is orchestrated around it, and I think it does. It gives you this kind of where's this going, and then it just drops. And
Can I play the piano chords now? I've turned the piano on. Can I?
Yeah.
Do you go and sound a bit
Who
more excited
invited
about
the
it?
piano?
Yes, please.
Who
do.
invited the piano? Yes.
Great
Beautiful.
chords, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the
nice
first
chords.
line, look at Earth from outer space. I mean, what a way to open an album. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's written in the wake of 9/11, isn't it? He wrote it a couple of days after.
I was
going
to ask about this because I've been trying to understand this song and I've not looked it up, and I was sure that you guys would have.
I think it was written around the time, but it's unclear as to whether it was before or just after.
I read or heard or remembered incorrectly that he'd written it a couple of days after, or at least that's what he said.
Okay.
It makes for a good story,
It's,
anyway, doesn't it?
yeah, certainly it kind of looks. It could have been written after it.
I think,
reflecting on it.
I agree with Brett in some respect here. I think it's a great opening song. I think it's really interesting how it's based around 2 chords all the way through. The ones I just played badly on the piano.
What chords are they?
It's a C dominant 7th to an F minor 11 or an F minor add 4.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Brett, do
that.
you think it's more a minor 11 or an add 4?
I think it's a suspended.
Ooh.
I don't even know.
It's got the minor 3rd in there too, though, Brett.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's suspenders got to do with it?
Speaking of, no, I'm not going to say what I was going to say then. I had a little bit of.
Yeah.
It was going to come out before I.
No,
I forgot we were recording. Then I thought we were just having a chat about
Is
suspenders.
that a little bit of evidence of a filter then, Brett?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a filter in me. Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, I said it. Oh no, it came out.
or as you referred to her.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Lovely lady.
Oh.
Lovely lady.
How long have we made it into it before you
We're
said
not even
Gwyneth
one song.
Paltrow?
We
We haven't even talked about the music yet, and you're on about.
You mentioned suspenders. That's why.
Okay.
No, I didn't. You brought up suspension, and that was it.
I'll be suspended in a minute if we carry on like this.
I really like the vocal processing
Yes.
on this, and I can't work out, Rick. Is it 2 voices? Is it double tracked?
Yes,
in the
I think
verses
so.
of delay?
Yeah.
A lot of this is
What's that? You said yes to both.
double track.
Double tracked, as opposed to a delay.
Well, I don't know. Brett's
Or-
answering now. You said Rick, and then Brett went yes, and then I thought I've got a delay, and
It's
I
that
got really
filter
muddled.
again.
Me and Brett are double tracked. We both think it's yes.
Very good. And I like the tension in the line, the repeated line. Open up your eyes.
Yeah.
It just makes it. I always think when a singer repeats a line, it gives it that more kind of potency in its meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I think the with this the music, the crotchet, the quarter note constant
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
beats, which I know is what you like about it, Brett, is really interesting, and it's kind of. Yeah, I think that's really fresh at this point.
And it comes back
because
as
this
well,
was
doesn't
what
it?
2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
So
got that.
Arcade Fire would have been doing this sort of thing, but I just think it's done in an aggressive, cool, interesting way that was a bit unusual for the compared to some of the other stuff that's not quite so out there. I think, for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the broken down first verse in this, and in the second verse, there's a lot more kind
Yeah.
of production going on, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
It builds
Yeah.
and drops and builds and drops throughout the whole song, doesn't it? There's some magic moments later on in the song where it just goes down
Yeah.
again. It's just stunning.
I think I have to say, and you're going to be surprised here, Brett. I think the outro is absolute class.
Okay.
I think it's stunning.
Yeah.
Where it sort of resolves and releases into that sort of 4 chord
I think when
sequence
you
out
get
of the 2
that
chords.
third chord, when that third chord comes in at the end, and the movement of the piano changes, is just.
I think Chris
it's a thing
Martin
of beauty.
is very clever at finding those chords throughout their career. He does this thing with his
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a bit like the sequence at the end of "Fix You," where you get the bit coming in. But the way the drums come in, and it's just a really simple, straight rhythm, isn't
I
it?
could talk about World Champion all day. He's he's up there with the. What are you laughing at?
I was just thinking about what a day that'd be.
Yeah, you could call it a festival and call it Snooze Fest.
Talking of World Champion, very quickly, he said,
World champion.
"What? Will
Sorry, I thought you said talking of world champions.
World Champion?
Yep.
One of the biggest stadium bands in the world, and he can still get on a bus in Camden on the top deck and go anywhere in London and not get recognised." And he said that's the best thing about being in the biggest rock and roll band in the world.
Or being on the top deck.
Best being that he can he's just not.
Being on
He'll
the
just walk past anyone and no one.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys that no one, unless you're a big fan, knows who he is. But he's just not a recognisable character.
Is
I'd
the drummer
recognise
is the
him.
drummer from Elbow on the bottom?
He's a great drummer.
But he's on the bottom deck.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And they both go around Camden and not get recognised. They say, look,
Yeah.
we're millionaires.
They've had it in Oxford Street.
Yeah.
I really like.
There's world champion from Coldplay on that bus.
I really like the melody on the guitar at the end of this as well.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
the kind of high, airy, the backing vocals that are going on.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
What is there's a bass moment in this, JD. I know you like a good bass moment.
I do, yeah.
There's a great little bass line that follows the vocal line, or vice versa. I think it's vice versa, coming out of the chorus somewhere. Give me soul. He sings "Give Me Soul," and it goes. There's an O after it. I'm not going to try and repeat the melody because I've forgotten it.
Give me. I don't know that bit.
Give me soul, but he owes the bass line.
It's not the "Give Me Love."
No. We're not there yet. Not that bit.
Oh, okay. I didn't pick up on that, but I do love a good bass
and give
line.
me soul. And he goes, oh, well, not that melody.
Okay.
Is it the end of the first verse? Might be the end of the first verse.
Cool.
And it follows the bass line, or the end of the second verse, and he follows the bass exactly.
Cool.
Very nice moment.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I do have a favourite vocal moment in this.
Oh, okay.
My favourite vocal moment is the first "Give me love over this."
Yeah.
And the way he goes, oh, at the end, the way it tails the line off is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. Should we move on?
Yes.
Track 2, In My Place.
Oh, do you know what?
I know what's going to happen. You're going to play your drums, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Go on, go.
No, I won't.
Go on, do it.
I don't think I should.
Do it.
I don't think I should. I will. And then it goes. The way that it comes out of that big and it drops into the verse, the change where nothing changes, feels different apart from the hi-hat shot, and it goes into that 16th.
Yeah.
If anyone knows what I'm talking about, I just think it's one of the. You just know what's coming when you hear that groove. You just know it's that song, and it means. Sorry, I had to play it. I can't help it.
So at least you got it right. I tried playing the guitar line on piano. I'd never done that before and got it wrong. It's that, isn't it?
No, it's not that. Come on, turn the piano off.
I'll stick to playing that on guitar, I think.
Yeah. It's a very strong melody line, isn't it?
It's a strong melody line, and I think it's just. Well, we don't talk about favourite songs, but this is up there with
We'll do that at the end.
Yeah, I know.
You've given it away again.
It's a very good drum sound at the start, as is yours, Brett. Obviously,
It's a very. You feel like.
I knew you'd say that. I thought it's quite roomy, and then I was wondering, how do we ever know whether it is a room sound?
It feels like it's a room. It feels like it.
It sounds like it.
I remember reading whenever this album came out that they had quite a struggle getting the drums sounding right on this, because the hi-hats were too loud, then they were too quiet, then they were too loud, and I think they tried it in various ways and couldn't get the hi-hats right.
Oh, okay.
So is that because they were room miking it?
Not sure.
Were they doing
I hope this groove is like the integrity's there, that it was recorded as a take and they haven't overdubbed or anything. It doesn't.
Was it the Andy Johns or the Glyn Johns thing of
three mics?
Yeah, what's that called? The triangular.
Yeah, something like that.
There's actually an engineer term for it, but I'm not going to repeat because you'll call me a geek.
I will say, I don't know whether either of you have picked this up. That drum intro is very reminiscent of the Ride song "Dreams Burn Down."
Oh,
have either of you familiar with that?
Who?
Ride, the band Ride.
No.
Yeah, "Dreams Burn Down." It's got a very, very similar intro.
Okay, cool.
Brett's looking at me as if I've done
looking at your phone.
wrong.
Your phone's ringing. I just wonder who it was.
It's ringing, is it?
Yeah. Don't answer it.
Oh,
it's all right. I'll hang up.
Okay.
It's me.
Yeah. Let's move it along.
Yeah. Very good. Who's Ride?
Yeah.
But it's that drop into the verse where that groove is just stays there, doesn't it? It just plays those that.
Yeah. Oh, the dynamic on his hi-hat from the intro to the verses is genius.
It makes a song for me.
Yeah.
And the synth bass in the verse is cool as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's not a real bass, it's a synth. And then the real bass comes in the chorus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's a lovely little bass line in the chorus as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's complementary to the melody.
The little arpeggio that it starts on with the nice.
Yeah, and the simplicity of the chorus, just the
Well, I was going to talk about that.
Is really effective.
The yeahs.
Yep. Yeah.
Because the hook is yeah.
Yep.
And it's a held note at the start of the chorus. That's the kind of hook, isn't it?
Yep.
He revisits that on the album, including the next song, which we'll talk about when we get there. That's just a sort of either a trait of his or something he's going through at this time, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice to have themes, isn't it?
This song won a Grammy for Best Rock Performance, would you believe?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's quite a cool arrangement as a song, isn't it? Because it doesn't do it's not quite verse, chorus, is it? It's
Yeah.
I'm going to have a slightly unpositive thing to say, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it ends a little bit weirdly and a bit insincere when he goes, "Oh yeah"?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think after
he
because he's been going, please, come back and
which sounds
and then
sincere.
To go, oh yeah,
oh yeah.
See you again.
It's like he's just told the Cornish
See you
joke.
again, Gwyneth.
Anyway,
Gwyneth,
there we go.
Oh yeah.
Hey Gwyneth, nice suspenders. Oh yeah.
Oh God, you ruined it for me.
Please.
They cut that bit off. They just left the
So I didn't want to do disservice on such an amazing song. I feel bad.
Well, yeah, I would have felt a bit bad for being slightly negative, but you've completely taken that run with
sorry,
it.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
I do have a favourite vocal moment.
It's not that, is it?
It's not. No, it's that. That's like Lee's favourite vocal moment on the whole album. No, it's in the second verse when he goes, "If you go, oh, and leave me down here on my own."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The way he phrases that, and there's a little bit of kind of desperation.
Yeah, desperation is a good word to describe. Definitely.
And I feel I'm a bit like I'm a casual Coldplay fan. I can't make my mind up on whether I really love Chris Martin's voice.
I wanted to have this conversation with you about.
I'm on the fence because he's got so many strong characteristics in it. But then there's moments where I feel like I just don't believe him.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I find his delivery sometimes insincere, but sometimes he
Not
really
so much
nails it.
On this album, maybe, but I guess it's on the stuff that's come later.
And I find his voice not very strong, but I think his head voice is very strong.
Oh, his falsetto.
His falsetto is
outstanding.
amazing.
Yeah,
falsetto or head voice? I was going to do them then. Not doing it. Not falling. Not going to do that again.
What I want to say about Chris is that he comes across.
Oh, my old mate Chris.
Yeah. He comes across quite, and he admits this, quite awkward to talk to. He's quite an awkward character. He gets very nervous, and I wonder whether that translates into his delivery with singing. Sometimes when I hear him sing, I think when I hear him talking and you hear him trying to get through an interview, it's quite like, oh, come on, Chris, you're cringing me here. And I don't know whether...
What, like listening to us three?
Possibly.
That might explain why he didn't want to come in and do this.
Did you ask him?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I just...
He went, oh, yeah.
in a Cornish voice.
He did, yeah.
Right on.
It's all that time in Glastonbury that's done it, I think.
I don't know, maybe it's just... That's a thing that I recognise when I hear him talk. Just a bit of awkwardness about him, and I think he's an awkward... In a polite way.
People say you're awkward. Anyway, track 3, God Put a Smile Upon Your Face.
Go, Brett.
What's the tuning on this one, Rick? What's the tuning on the acoustic?
I don't know. It's not. I think it's drop tuning. I think it's just drop. But no, hang on.
What I love about this
D flat, I reckon,
is the relationship in the verse between the bass and the guitar. I think there's something very special that happens between those two instruments.
I think it's very, very Radiohead.
Yes, I agree.
I agree with that.
I did hear that this song was written to as a more upbeat thing to put into their live shows.
Oh, okay.
And that comes across when it's on the album as well, isn't it? Because it is kind of, it's got the tempo's pushed a little bit. You've got the driving snare,
big lift into the chorus.
The bit that really, really, I think sounds so Radiohead is, there's a na like repetitive bit. You're both going to go, what, when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It sounds exactly like Tom York does in the start of Everything in Its Right Place off Kid A. You're both going to go, what?
What?
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with Kid A as I am with other.
See, if I had my way, we could do some Radiohead. But anyway.
Hopefully we will.
Anyway, na bit, to me, Everything in Its Place.
Yeah.
By Radiohead.
Oh, okay.
Almost exactly to me.
Cool.
Which would have just predated this by a few years, so...
Joe's gone quiet already. We're track 3 of the album. I'm really interested. I want to, and this is some psychology going here with this album. I want to judge your delivery with this podcast about an album that you're unsure of. And it's really
my drifted off a little bit.
Oh, did you?
I was thinking about your unhealthy interest in Gwyneth the Paltrow.
Oh yeah. What about it?
Well, I don't know. I was just wondering.
You're not thinking about me and Gwyneth, are you?
No, I was trying not to. No. I'll be completely honest with you.
You don't like this song, do you?
I absolutely love. I love track 1.
I
really like track 2.
Yeah.
I really like track 3. No, hang on a minute.
This is track 3.
This is track 3, isn't it?
You like track 4 is what you're going to say.
I really love track 3. I really like track 3.
I bet you love clocks.
I don't really love track 3. For me, this
I'm
song,
lost. He said I like and don't like too many times.
No, I've confused myself. And no, this is the first point of the album where I think, yeah, I'm not a big Coldplay fan.
Do you know what? I don't like the title. I don't like the title. The title gets to me. I don't know why.
It gets to you. It winds you up.
Well, a little bit.
But you'd like it if God was one of us. You'd like it.
If you put a smile on my face, I'd understand it more. But God is like, I don't know. Let's not go there.
I think for me, because I come from musically from a background where like a bit more of a rock background, and not just rock music, but I feel I love music that I can really feel that the writer is really invested in.
You don't feel that he's engaging in the...
I don't feel like, and I think even when the drum comes in, I don't, it's not like when Taylor Hawkins comes in The Pretender and he's hitting that snare drum and you believe it.
The production and the...
I just feel like, there's the drums. And
there's a lot of country about some of this stuff in this album, and I think you can't compare that to a Foo Fighters.
I'm not comparing it to
It's not always about delivery. It's not always about punk or rock or hitting it hard, is it?
No, it's not. It's about believing what you're listening to, and for me, I couldn't connect with it and believe what I was listening to.
That's fair comment.
I can see where you're coming from with that.
I will say that when the next track starts, are you happy to move on?
No. I want to talk about the now.
But I will say when the next track starts, it completely blows everything out of the water.
Yeah.
So
hang on, wait. Just want to say one thing. In the chorus, there's a long now. You think of the chorus of God Put a Smiley Face? It's like In My Place where he goes, yeah.
It's just a different word.
Yeah, but it's that same idea. And or is it ah? Is it now or ah? Oh, I don't know what he sings.
Oh dear.
It might be ah or now. It's the same idea of holding a long note.
Yeah.
All right, go on. You can move on now.
So track 4, The Scientist.
Wow.
This song is absolutely stunning from beginning to end.
Perfect placement of the album as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an incredible song.
And it stands the test of time because it's still probably...
Oh, he's off.
Oh, hello.
I knew that. No. It's that, isn't it?
That note there.
Yeah, I think the chord changes in their version is a little bit more fluid.
Well, he did write it. It's not. This keyboard isn't working for me. It's the wrong key. It's the wrong keyboard. The note you're looking for was that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why singing it. That didn't help anybody.
So apparently this song was written quite late in the recording process.
Oh, okay.
I think they'd built up a load of songs, and Chris Martin was worried they were lacking one or two kind of strong big songs.
This is my joint
and he came in with this after a week. They had a weekend off, and he came in and played this.
No way.
I think his falsetto voice is absolutely top class. I don't think there's anyone that matches his falsetto voice.
Ooh.
I've got to say, because I think that the way that he writes...
What about one of the Righteous Brothers? Which one was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's in D minor as well, Jody.
I love D minor.
It starts on D minor 7.
I love D minor.
It's nice it's got that 7th in there.
Yeah.
It's one of the saddest of all keys, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love where the drums come in, and it's the most understated drum part that just sinks in, and it just blends beautifully.
He just slides.
I always wanted to do it when Rick was playing them, but it's not going to happen, is it?
What do you want me to do?
No,
I don't want to do it.
We want you to turn the keyboard off.
Would you like me to talk about D minor anymore? Let me talk about D minor.
It's just a very beautiful moment where there's that natural lift where the band is just it's just in there, but enough to just bring that next boost of...
I can't... There's nothing... I've got nothing negative about this song.
It's a perfect song.
There's nothing that bugs me about it. I love it from start to finish.
And when you talk about his delivery and how, if you mean it, the ooze at the end of this song, I believe how he's delivering those...
Do you?
Yeah.
Because that's the one bit of the...
No, I don't.
His vocal performance, which I don't believe as much.
Oh.
When he says in the first... chorus for us to part, and there's a little bit of gravel and break up on his voice, a bit of distortion. It's brilliant. That's my favourite vocal moment in this. But by the end, I just feel he sounds a little flippant with
beautiful.
His.
I know where you're coming from.
It's sad. It makes me feel sad when I hear those ooze, and I think that's what.
Does it?
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure what the point of the ooze.
Yeah, that's what. It almost sounds happy to me.
No.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know whether they needed to be there, but yeah.
Otherwise, I think there's some...
the whole song is a vocal moment for me.
I think this is my joint best Coldplay song ever.
Well, you don't give it. You might have just given away your favourite track of the album.
Well, it might not be on this album.
There
we go.
Okay. Should we move on? Are we ready to move on?
No, not yet. This is good. This one.
Okay.
Harmony in the second chorus, Jody. What a great vocal harmony.
Yep.
Interesting part.
Yes.
The electric coming in the outro where it's been acoustic for the rest of the song. That's a nice
slightly
touch.
crunchy guitar is lovely. It really adds lovely to that build.
Verse chorus arrangement. So first chorus, bang, done, out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so simple but so good.
And the use of seventh chords is really nice in this. There's a really nice, I'll probably get it wrong when I seventh chord at the end of the chorus, which is called.
He does that a lot though, doesn't he?
I think it's that. I reckon it's nice.
Those little kind of quirky chords, the quirky little, just those sevenths.
Quirky chords.
Those little sevenths and fifths he puts in to just give that harmonic.
Here, put a quirky chord on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Gwyneth. Yeah, that's a scientist done, isn't it? I think,
Track 5.
Well, that's that one ruined. Right, on to the next one.
Wait for this one. This is going
Track
to be
5,
interesting.
Clocks.
So
I think it's probably best I keep quiet during this.
So I've written, because I like to make some notes. I think we all make a few notes. I've written clocks, good or bad, discuss.
That's
good
to remind you, is it?
Question mark, discuss. So because I think it's like Marmite, this song. And I don't know.
Slightly salty and black.
I'd say
I still don't know. I still don't know whether this song is good or bad, and I don't know what to say about it because I don't really enjoy it when I listen to it.
Can you remember the piano part? Would you like to hear it?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to play the drum part?
No.
There you go. Is that enough?
Yes.
I don't know what. I think it's very.
Sorry.
What's the word?
Stop it.
Melancholy? No, is it?
Melancholy?
Is that the word?
Melancholic?
I'm not very good with words, so I don't really understand. I don't want to go down that road again.
You think it's quite sad and dark sounding because it's in a minor key? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to say
okay.
I'm not trying to say that. It's a little bit jocular.
Oh no, you got the wrong word then.
It's not melancholy, is it?
No, it's not. Jocular.
Jocular. Like it's a little bit tongue. I don't know what the word is. Not comical. I just don't. There's nothing about the song that I like.
Oh dear.
I know.
Oh, okay.
It's one of two songs in this album that and I think there's a thing, wasn't it, that Chris Martin presented this to Will Champion, and Will said that will never be a single.
I read,
and it was their biggest, I believe, their biggest single. This is.
I read that it was the last song submitted for the album, that they'd finished the album and it was being mastered, or at that stage of it, when he'd come in with this song and said, "This is for the next album," and the band and the powers that be said, "Oh no, this is too strong. This should be included on this album. Do it now. Don't wait."
I
think this was with the Scientist. Is that one of those last couple of songs?
It was held back to have this put on it. I thought,
why? What is it about the song that? Because it is their one. I believe that this is their biggest selling single.
So I've got something, because you couldn't go away from this song at that time, could you? Which I think it maybe.
I don't know whether that's why it's impacted me so much, because
it was everywhere.
It still is.
I just don't.
But can we talk about the rhythm, that 3-3-2 thing, that da 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 da,
which is
play it.
Oh, we did it in unison then.
Did we? That's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah. That's because Brett didn't count us in.
Hey.
Go and play your rhythm, Brett, if you want.
No, I haven't practiced it, and I'll probably get it wrong.
Because it's would you like me to talk about the rhythm for a little bit from a nerdy point of view?
Should I play it? Can I
go on?
I can play it. Can I play it?
Oh, so I was ready then. All right, too late.
There we go. That's pretty much.
So that's it's a Latin thing, isn't it, Brett? The 3-3-2 thing. It's habanera. Is it called a triceo? Triceo. I think that's how it's pronounced. Which is a really, really common pattern in music, doing threes, 2 3s and a 2, which obviously fits up into a bar of 8.
U2 do it.
Well, U2, Coldplay, and since
Snow
then
Patrol.
it's Snow Patrol, Muse, Biffy Clyro.
It was heavily borrowed, wasn't it? After
Ed
this?
Sheeran struggles not to do it.
I quite often try to borrow that with our stuff, and it's always shoo-shooed out the door, isn't it? Before
a little bit, but it's been around since R&B, like 70s R&B, Linda Ronstadt, all of that sort of stuff is all kind of da 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 da. So it's been around a while, but this really made it. Pushed it to the forefront, didn't it?
The recording and the piano versus the drums versus, I don't know, it just none of it kind of.
So this song doesn't work for us. Should we move on?
Okay.
Sorry, I've just had to check my camera.
Okay.
While you were talking, I couldn't work out. Well, if your phone rings and it's videoing, does the video stop?
No, I would have told you.
Okay, sorry. That's how much I'm interested in that song.
Oh, we're going to go down with them.
I'll tell you what,
Coldplay fans, aren't we?
The bridge of this song In
the change.
Nothing else compares.
Yeah.
With the octaves on the guitar.
Yeah,
It's quite nice.
It's a brilliant bridge.
But nothing moves, does it? Everything moves, but nothing changes, if you know what I mean. Like
the feel doesn't change, but it ramps up a gear. But the bridge is really cool.
I do like where
and
it goes.
Listening back to the album, in preparation for this, I listened to this song for the bridge.
And then
the bridge is really cool.
And
cool.
The outro goes to those accents, isn't it? Just as a very simple
Yeah.
kind of. But yeah, it's I don't know. Just one of those.
Track 6, Daylight.
See, this is track 5 and 6. This is the other song I don't like.
Oh, see, you went on and on about this album, and now it's turning out to not be that
Yeah.
popular.
I really find the outro of this song really frustrating.
You chose an album and you just want to pick holes in it.
No, maybe some of it.
I really like the drum beat in the verse
Yeah.
of this song. Rick, this song as a whole is reminiscent to me of the Moody Blues.
Oh, really? I so thought you were going to say the Beatles, Within You, Without You.
No, yeah,
Off
possibly.
of Sgt. Pepper with the sitar.
We listened to a lot of Moody Blues growing up, and the interaction of the bass line and the vocal melody in the verses.
Yeah, I've written that down, Joe.
That interplay, but it's got a real Moody Blues feel about it.
Really?
But I listened to it thinking, I wonder whether Chris was inspired by the Moody Blues, whether he grew up listening to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hadn't put that together. I hadn't thought of that.
Mm.
I think it's Beatlesy. Apart from the outro, is it? Where's he singing at the outro? Slowly breaking through the daylight.
Yeah.
Apart from that.
But it's like 24 times or something.
But I think that's straight out the Tom York thing from Kid A with Everything It's Right Place, where they were sampling and he was repeating lines.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that comes
It's
from.
a cracking bass line over that outro line.
Yeah.
Really good.
But who is it in a studio where you got a band and producers and engineers where they go, that's a good idea. Let's just keep repeating that for the next 2.5
It's
3 minutes.
intensity,
It's a
though, isn't
vibe,
it?
yeah.
It's intensity.
I didn't get it.
But I'm going to send you Everything It's Right Place by Radiohead in a minute.
Okay.
When we finish this off.
I quite like the production in this as well.
Ooh.
In this song, I was going to ask you, Rick, what's playing the main melody in the intro?
I don't know.
I couldn't work out what that was.
I don't know. Is it strings? Is it like a synth? I can't remember it.
Yeah, it's like a. But I couldn't work out if it was strings or what it was.
I don't know. If anybody knows, write to us and let us know.
Maybe a bit of everything.
They'll write to us on a postcard. That's on a postcard. What would you win? Anything up for grabs?
What would Brett? What would you give away as a competition prize?
You can have a date with me.
Okay.
You can
Date
come
with
down.
Brett or you could have Gwyneth the Paltrow suspenders.
Yeah, I've got them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, track 7, Green Eyes.
Oh, I forgot to say that in
Daylight.
There's an ooh at the start of the chorus, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, which is again that idea
You're going
from
for this single word kind of holding the note.
They're holding a vowel or a or something at the start of a chorus, holding a note as the hook.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Three out of 5 so far, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 out of 6, half of them. He's gone for that.
Halfway there.
Yep.
Okay. Track 7, Green Eyes.
I love the production of this song. I love the simplicity and how it's just.
I like the acoustic start to this.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of Travis.
Yes.
And what Travis were doing at this time, which was 99. Yeah, 99.
When was The Man That Who came out, Jodie?
The Man Who?
The Man
wasn't The Man That Who?
Am I thinking of James Bond?
Yeah.
The Man
Who came out.
97?
Was it 90? No, I think it was 99.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was 99-ish.
That's kind of an interesting bridge between Oasis and this, isn't it?
And this song, I can hear, it sounds like a song Fran Healy would have written around that time.
It's very country, isn't it?
It is very country.
I'm not a massive country fan, as you know.
See, I am. See,
yeah, no, I'm
I was all over like
to a bit of.
I loved a bit of Sheryl Crow back then and all that kind of bit of Shania Twain.
I can see a bit of a theme, the traditional country artist.
There was something in it that I think probably triggered for you, Brett, with the "Let's Go Girls." Yes, Shania.
Let's go, girls. Oh yeah,
not quite what I have in mind when you think of country.
But I've talked about this in another podcast previously. I think about my relationship with Dolly Parton as a kid growing up. No, I'm being serious. I fell in love with country as a very young person, and Dolly Parton. I was about 8 or 9 when I got into Dolly Parton.
Oh God!
So I think the country theme was just even now, I love a bit. We all love a bit of country, don't we?
I do.
A bit of modern.
Yeah,
No,
I do.
no, I don't.
Do you really?
Hey.
No, I don't like country.
Really?
What, not even,
I like Americana, but anything country I find a bit cheesy for me.
Really?
Wow, that's a strong
Yeah, no, I had
flavor.
I don't know if I should bring this up. I had a haircut. That's all right so far, isn't
I
it?
had a haircut yesterday.
Did you? Well, I went to the hairdresser was playing country, really, really country stuff, and saying how massive it is now. It's the new latest
It
big
is.
thing,
Even Beyonce's doing it.
and I found it quite I don't know.
Offensive.
No, just a bit like, oh god,
Well,
that'll
that's
do. It's just, are
interesting.
you happy with what? Yeah, that's fine. That's it. Don't worry about that. That's fine. Just do that side. I'm out. Gone.
Oh God!
Wow.
I thought that's
I
what
thought you had a
happened.
half a haircut. Fight with the lawnmower.
You look good from this side, Rick.
It was, she'd been playing, so it was country. It was like really. Yeah.
Looks like you've had one of your ears lowered.
Yeah, I have. That was the facelift. No, but I had more done there because they were playing something else. They were playing some nice alt rock.
You do surprise me because I'm
I'm
a fan of country.
I am.
I'm a
as well.
fan of older country and newer stuff as well.
Yeah.
But saying that, I find the cheesier side of it is what I'm not a big fan of, and
Yeah.
I find this borderline cheesy. But then saying, like early Josh Ritter's cheesy country, and I quite like that. So maybe I'm just full of crap.
I think for me, if I feel that country comes from a place of sincerity, a bit like
rather than having someone driving your pickup?
Yeah, but that you're just generalizing and clicheing, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
But for the country that feels like it's come from a sincere place or it's sang in a sincere way, then
okay.
I like it. I'm a fan.
I agree.
I'm sold.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, going back to Green Eyes, I think I would prefer it if the band didn't come in this.
Oh, I love it when the band come in.
Yeah, no, for me it almost sounds a little jocular.
Oh,
You'd rather Will stayed up on the top of the bus, on the top deck.
Yeah, just keep looking at the sights, Will. Let Chris do his thing.
What I do like about... Sorry, Brett.
no, carry on.
I do like the way the two acoustics are recorded in it, because it's dual acoustic guitars that are very different. And they're panned, aren't they?
Yeah.
Left and right. And they're not doing the same thing at all. So
Yeah.
it's quite a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
I have a favourite vocal moment in this one.
Go on.
The first line of the chorus. I came here with a load. I really like the way he sings that.
What does he mean by that?
So
What do you think he means
I
by that?
don't know.
I think it's to do with pickups.
Don't know.
I came here with a load.
A load, maybe a heavy head.
Oh, no.
Well,
No, like a load, like
yeah. Well, it's
like
mine,
take
mine is
take the
loaded.
take the load off Annie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thinking of
yeah,
Annie.
Yeah.
See, I'm
Now that is that country?
Yes.
Well, what can you not? Why can you not like that? How can
Exactly.
you not like that?
What, take the load
take
off
a load
Annie?
of Annie.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Oh, you've let yourself down in this one. I tell you
We're
what.
going to fall out, aren't we?
I'm not sure you're going to be invited to the next podcast. Could be
Is
a
it-
duo.
Let's
Is it
invite
Garth
Dolly.
Brooks?
Let's invite Dolly.
If it's a Lolly Parton album, it'd be fine. I'll sit that one out.
Moving swiftly along. Track 8, Warning Sign.
So this, I find, is a very beautiful, well-written song. Gets me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did. The line in it, the truth is I miss you.
Oh, yep. See, he's sincere
Yeah.
there, Brett, though.
I know,
He
but
means it.
I
He
had
really
to question
means it.
myself
Yeah.
whether he was or not, but it is.
That's
And
one
you-
of my favourite Chris Martin moments.
Yes, I agree 100%.
I mean, in anything he's ever done.
Yep.
More so than Carpool
And
Karaoke with, what's his name?
Do you know what really does it? The truth is I miss you. When he adds the word so,
Yes,
it
yes.
just it's
Yeah.
sort of
That's where the
it
tear
hits that
comes
little
out.
bit deeper.
It does. Isn't it amazing that a delivery of a word in a sentence can do that in
Yeah.
music?
Yeah.
It is that word. It's that word. So
Yeah,
that
you,
just-
Chris nails it in
He
this,
does.
you know,
So,
as far as sincerity goes.
Grand unveiling of my joint favourite Coldplay song is this. I love this song.
Is it?
Yep, this and The Scientist are my favourite Coldplay songs.
Anything off the first
Wow.
album? Oh, we don't want to go there, but yeah, no, I get
not
that.
as much as these two.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a lot in this song that's to like. There's a lot to like.
The guitar part's great. It's all there's loads of open
Yeah.
E's, isn't there? It's very slidey and
Yeah.
moving the same shape around with a. I don't know what the
It's that
tuning is. But there's a lot
tempo
of
as
E in
well.
it.
It's that
Yeah.
real lazy kind of.
And there's a tambourine, Brett. Great
There is a
tambourine
tambourine.
part.
There
Yeah.
is a
I know you
great
like a tambourine part that works.
I really like the extra bar before the chorus.
Yes.
You feel like it's holding,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you know it's kind of like, right, are you ready?
It,
Here's the
it
chorus.
sets that chorus up perfectly.
Yeah.
Sometimes that sounds a bit, but
Yeah.
it works brilliantly there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. And the strings are really well arranged in this.
Yep.
I think the band. I think that might have been Chris Martin arranged it. If he did, he's done himself proud there.
His falsetto or head voice in the outro to this is really, really strong as well.
Yeah.
Real strength of his singing style, isn't it?
And I like to think when I listen to this that when it gets to the last note, which he sings arms, I think that's the last note, isn't it? Or last word. We'll crawl back into your open arms, which I love.
Yep.
He changes the last note and drops it, doesn't he? Like by a semitone or something, where it just goes slightly dark and minor.
Yep.
And I think running through his head, he was thinking like, I've got to do something about the end of that in my place, and I might make it all right by making this one dark and like I mean it.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think.
You could be right. Do you know the only thing that it's not a criticism. The only thing that I would have changed had I have been playing bass in this is I would have put some lower notes in the second verse. I feel that the note position is quite high.
Is it big to get out of the way of
verse?
Oh no, there isn't any piano doing the guitar. It's open tune guitar.
Yeah,
okay. Maybe it's to give the chorus a bit more weight.
It could be. But as you know, I'm a lover of the low D and some of those lower notes, and I think he could have just brought a little bit more depth to it in that second verse.
Okay.
But that's a really small, and that was only as I was listening through on headphones thinking, like, this song, and there's nothing wrong with it. And then as I came out of it, I thought, I probably would have liked to have heard a few lower notes.
Oh, okay. I've not noticed. I'll listen to it and see if I agree.
Yeah, but it is a stunning piece of work. Track 9, A Whisper.
Sounds like Tom York again here, I think.
We've got to whisper this one.
I think this is more Tom York and Radiohead.
I don't think this is the greatest song on the album. It should have been a B-side.
I'm going to go out. I'm going to say this one sounds like a very average Moody Blues or Travis.
I think there's a little bit of The Who about this as well.
Do you?
It's not my favourite song on the album.
I'm with you, Brett. I can't connect to this song.
But it's swung, Brett, or is it in 12/8? One or the other. It's triplety, isn't it?
It's triplety.
Which you like a triplet.
I do like a triplet.
Yeah, so there's something.
Yeah.
There's positives to it. I wouldn't say, this is a rubbish song. I don't like it at all. I like. There's a vibe to it that I really like because it reminds me of the Moody Blues.
I think it needed something like this to help the last two songs which I absolutely love. I think it needed this kind of quirkiness to then come back down for the powerful outro of the album.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of dynamic.
Dynamic, yes.
Yeah.
But not my favourite song.
Okay.
How do you put it, Brett? Sometimes I'm going to go with your phrase where I didn't connect with this one. I'm going to say that for like Brett often does. I didn't connect with this one.
Track 10, A Rush of Blood to the Head.
So this is another stunner to me.
What is it? Swing feel again, Brett, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I like the tambourine. There's a very powerful tambourine moment in this song. Comes in with the guitar and vocal.
Powerful tambourine moment.
You can tambourine can be a very powerful moment in music.
Well, ABBA could feel the beat on their tambourine.
Pardon?
They could. You know what I said about country? I have similar feelings about. Anyway.
Well,
yeah. In Dancing Queen, feel the beat on the tambourine.
How can you diss ABBA?
Oh yeah.
I can. I can diss ABBA but I won't. But I can.
What were you doing your hand then, Joe, when you sang "Oh yeah"? Like you were feeding a horse there. You did something weird with your hand. It's just all on the camera. Your hand was doing "Oh yeah," like a little feeding a horse thing.
What? What's wrong with you?
Nothing. It's you.
Where's the horse?
Look, my hand's here. I've got no animals in here.
Oh, dear.
Oh, good grief.
God, bro.
What have you guys got to say about A Rush of Blood to the Head?
Yeah, I like this. I like the A minor bass verse.
Yes.
I like the kind of dark element to it. And then when it hits the chorus you got the F major, yeah? It's a big kind of like boom. Here's the chorus, which I really like.
The tambourine and drums are great in this. I agree, Brett.
Yeah,
really good.
Thank
and
you
the way
much.
the bass comes in it reminds me a little bit of The Scientist, which is anything reminds me of The Scientist is good.
Yeah,
it's good. And it also it's reminiscent of what's the lyric about Honey? Oh God, Honey, all the movements you make. But where is that? Honey, all the movements you started to make. See me crumble and fall on my face. That bit reminds me of Politic. So I think as a title track of the album, and obviously A Rush of Blood to the Head meaning all about impulse and doing things now, all of that sort of thing. I think this from that point of view, it's quite a good lyric and quite a good summing up of the album. I like it when albums sound like an album and they're coherent and not just a collection of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the positive about it.
Yep.
Cool. I'm impressed with you two. I think
What do you mean?
Well, you're just being. I was
More positive than you?
Yeah.
Well, when you don't like something.
Just more positive than what I thought you would be.
I've got no beef with this album. There's a couple of songs that wind me up, but otherwise, it's a good album. It's a good Coldplay album.
Cool.
Well, we have one more track. Oh, my favourite vocal moment on A Rush of Blood to the Head, by the way, the song, is the first verse.
Well, the whole first verse?
Yeah. Really good. Really nice.
We got one more song to go. I'm going to try and see if I can get the piano part right. I won't.
Turn the piano off. Track, did I say that out loud?
I'm going to get it wrong now. Oh, there's a really cool chord here. That's it. Nice. That's.
Have you been playing the piano long?
4 out of 6 notes worked.
Yeah. Worryingly, I have been playing the piano long.
They're all the right notes, mate. They're just all in the wrong place.
So we've come to the final track on the album, track 11, Amsterdam.
Yes.
It's a great piano melody.
It's a cool part, isn't it?
Yeah, cool part.
Would you like to know what the chords are, Jody? Would you be interested in that at all?
Yeah.
So you've got an E flat major, nice. B flat major, which is cool. Then you got an F sus.
Is that sus really that does it, isn't it?
It's suspenders and like Gwyneth the Paltrow, Brett.
Oh, yeah.
And then this chord is really, really weird. Or is it? So one of them doesn't belong, the F major, and then goes to A flat major. But it works so well. It's cool, isn't it?
It's very clever.
It's just a nice part. I like that. It's nice chords.
Yeah, he's a great writer on the piano, is Chris Martin, isn't he?
I think their strongest songs, if I'm honest, is when he's playing piano.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. My favourite songs in this album are actually, that's a lie. He's not playing piano in Morningside. All right.
Is that the way he moves on the piano stool that you think?
I prefer watching him play piano than watching him play guitar.
He's got a bit of a bounce when he's on the stool, isn't he?
And he always looks like he's too big for his guitar. He's always got like a guitar that looks a bit small for him.
I think it's because his t-shirts are too small.
Maybe he needs a bigger t-shirt and a bigger guitar.
His t-shirts always look a bit too small to me.
He's buffed up a bit these days, isn't he? He works out.
Well, I can't tell if he's bulked up or whether his t-shirts are just getting small.
He hasn't changed his t-shirts.
He's got his tumble dryer on the wrong setting.
I can't believe we're talking about his tumble dryer.
Oh, don't get me wrong. He's a fine figure of a man, isn't he?
There's some amazing falsetto parts again on this song, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Very good.
Takes me back.
There's a bit of Beatles about this. Do you think a little bit of Let It Be about the piano and that?
Yeah.
As Brett said, the head voice in and out of the verses, he goes in and out of it so smoothly, which is really cool.
I'm going to be honest. I do like this song, but when I've listened to the album, track 1 through to this, because it's so long before the band kicks in, I've kind of lost.
Oh, I think that's what's fun about it. I like that.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. Maybe for me it could have been a 10-track album and got rid of one of the songs.
We could get rid of a couple, couldn't we?
I could make this a really good 10-track album, I think.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't lose this though.
No, I'd lose
No, I wouldn't lose this. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if we lost
one of the earlier songs,
if we lost the Whisper and made this, I have slightly lost interest a little bit in it, but if I listen to it on its own, I really like it. It's a really strong song.
I like the way the band come in late. I like the organ part, which sets up the band as well. Coming in, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you find the bass a bit weird in this, Jodie? It's a weird bass sound. What is it?
Don't know.
It's an unusual bass sound. Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe it's me.
Cool.
I actually, before listening to this in detail, I always thought the bass playing generally in Coldplay was a little bit.
We haven't mentioned his name. Is he called Guy?
Guy.
Not Chambers.
Barryman's the other one.
Guy.
Ooh. No, that's what we like. See on about.
He's called Guy, isn't he?
Let's see what I mean. All
anonymity,
Coldplay,
isn't it?
They could all get on the top deck of the bus.
Anonymity.
No,
Guy Anonymity.
No.
Guy.
Hi, Anonymity.
The guitar player is Buckley. Something
Buckland.
No, that's Johnny Buckland.
Johnny Buckland and Guy
Berryman. You were right.
Guy Chambers wrote with Robbie Williams, didn't he?
Yes.
And he's
those two and Will could all get the top bus around.
I reckon they could all be on the top deck, Brett.
I don't think Chris Martin would, but I think the three of them could.
I really enjoyed his bass playing though. That's what I was getting at. Is that I think because I've
you think he's a bit of a steady Eddie, but actually there's a little bit more going on than what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I think.
A steady Eddie.
Tonight on bass we have
Steady Eddie. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, what's your favourite track?
Brett?
My favourite track. I'm going to go and think. I think Politic probably just for the There's
just for the outro.
Politic does remind me of your old house, Brett, when we met.
Yeah,
you used to blast this album out a lot in there, and it reminds me. We started this podcast with you talking about being reminiscing and what it does. So that song, when I listen to that, it reminds me of your old house.
Yeah, I think that's me and how I sum my relationship with music up is about reminiscing and
memories.
Vibe and memories, as opposed to how a song is written, and so that's where which is good how we work.
But I think that's the same for all of us, isn't it?
That's the same for everyone.
Takes you back to where you first heard it, or where
like a perfume.
I think this period of time between 95 and 2005, I think that 10 years, there was quite a lot going on in my life. Like,
is that what you refer to as your hormonal state?
No, that was well before that. That was Dolly Parton days. No, I was a bit young for Dolly. My Blondie, Debbie Harry. No, I was about 8 or 9 then. A bit after that.
Just remember, we're still recording, Brett.
Early 90s, kind of. I don't know. Early Alanis, I think I was.
Oh, okay. Jodie, what's your favourite song, for God's sake?
I'm going to have to go for track 4, The Scientist.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I know what you're going to say, Rick.
Well, I'd have to, if I was being completely honest, it would probably be The Scientist, but Jodie said that, so just for the sake of being different, I'll go for Warning Sign, which I love. I love that and The Scientist.
I will say, though, I do love Politic. I do love In My Place. I do really like Warning Sign. I got more from this out when we originally discussed doing this one.
You weren't keen, were you?
I was the least keen.
Yeah.
And I found I got more from it than I expected to.
I knew you would. I'm glad that you did.
I would still say I'm a casual Coldplay fan.
I think I am, but I think the memory of these first 2 albums will always live with me forever.
Yeah, I like that.
Right. Shall we leave it there? We'll leave it with
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I knew you were going to do that. Yeah. I was trying to work out whether you'd finish with going, oh yeah, or bye Gwyneth the Paltrow.
And your
Why
suspenders.
do you call her Gwyneth the Paltrow?
I don't know, just the way that it came out. I thought she was, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, suspenders. Thanks for listening.
Please check out our band, Damn the Wolves.
Find us at damnthewolves.com and please follow us on all the usual socials. Oh